Bum, 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 bum. It is almost New Year's, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. It is going to be New Year's, da-da-dun-dun. New Year's, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. The stream's starting. Pum 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 pum. I'm singing 'cause I am not supposed to be live, not quite yet. Da 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 da. Da 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 pum 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 pum. Yeah. What's up, Troy? Uh, I do know it's Fantasy Football Championship Sunday, and the only league I'm in, I am in the championship game. You know what I'm not doing, though? I'm not watching football. Why, you ask? Because I don't want to know anything until the end of the day. I want to pull up the fantasy football scores and either see that I won or lost. I don't need to be stressing about something I can't control. I'll just look at the end result. But I am in the title game in my one thing. Can you review some mic options for on camera mics? I can and I will. And I've got multiple that I haven't done yet. I've got the Deity V Mic Pro 4, the Joby Wavo Plus, and some others. And those are in the pipeline as well. I didn't lose yet, Troy. The games just kind of started. I had no Saturday games. Everything's 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It's not looking great though. I don't know why, but I'm scared to death of Ty Chandler, who I'm facing of the Vikings. Have a feeling Ty Chandler is going to be the end of me. Headphones, are you working today? These are the Sennheiser HD 438s. Is that right? 439s. These are my favorite headphones. We'll start there. That's a good place to start. That was a total Bandrew move. I watch Bandrew and he does this thing where he kind of like, and I started doing it like subconsciously because I watched too many of his videos. But what's up, Damelin? Thanks for sharing all the stuff that you share. I appreciate the heck out of it on Twitter and everywhere else for that matter. But yeah, HD 439s. I'll just go ahead and get that out of the way right now. Some of this is going to be like all-time favorite gear, not very much of it. And then most of it's going to be 2023. But these, for whatever reason, are my all-time favorite headphones. They're nothing super special. Like I said, they're Sennheiser HD 439s. They're like $100. They were $100 new. Now you can snag them on eBay for like 20 to 30. And there's a whole lot. I don't know if you've looked at the Sennheiser line, the HD line specifically. There are a shit ton of different variations of these HD 438s, for blah, blah, blah. And I've tried quite a few of those, but for whatever reason, my ears, at least in my opinion, I'm not perfect and I'm not a professional. But in my ears with these headphones, audio gear and microphones sound the way I think they're supposed to sound. So when I talk into a microphone like the Shure SM58 and people describe the sound, I hear what is described in these headphones, even though they're just 32 ohm, run of the mill, consumer grade headphones. These really give me an idea of what things sound like for the way my ears capture sound profiles. Why do you have to live stream at the same time as Curtis Judd? Is Curtis going too? Curtis is a really good dude. And I've not really talked about Curtis that much. By all means, go watch Curtis. Like, Curtis is a pro. That dude knows what he's doing. He is excellent. And he is a extremely nice human being that I appreciate, because at the end of the day, like apples to apples, this is a small channel. And you've got guys like Tom Buck and Curtis Judd and Bandrew and Dark Corner, who also is kind of a small channel, but he's growing at a fantastic clip. You all know about Bronson already, but those guys and more are just so freaking supportive and nice, and like you just enough cannot be said about the folks that live in this community on YouTube that are, you know, pretty large channels for the niche. And Curtis is a absolutely fantastic dude. I haven't had that many conversations with him, but like I've had enough interactions with him to know that he's just a genuine guy. Yes. Thank you. Let's see. Maybe I'll coordinate live stream schedules with other YouTubers. I try. Maybe I'll talk to Curtis, see if he wants to come on the creator connection thing that I do when I get time. But anyways, favorite headphones of all time are these Sennheiser HD 439s. I don't really own a lot of other headphones. I do have a pair of Bear Dynamic DT 770 Pros. These are 80 ohm versions, and I replaced I hate the gray pads. So I got some black ones on here. These would be my second favorite headphones. The 80 ohms, for some reason, really tickle my fancy. So I like those a lot. So we'll go from there. Let's start simple. Favorite gear of 2023. Not yet. Not yet. Favorite gear of all time. One more entry to the all time. I think this would be my favorite all time mic. And that would be, I think most of you who have watched the channel for a long time, you know that the Bear Dynamic M99 is my mic of choice for podcasting, streaming, anything. I'm not using it right now for a very specific reason, but the Bear Dynamic M99, that's an all-time great that will always be in a year-end review, a year-end, favorite gear ever, or favorite gear of 2023, 24, 25, 26, 27. This is going to be in there every time. It is literally, in my opinion, the best dynamic microphone known to man, the Bear Dynamic M99. Now, let's see if I can get this on camera enough. Sorry for any noise I generate, but this is on a lot of lists actually. But just the sheer adjustability is, yes, Joe. Darn you. It's going to save that till the end. Anyways, what is this? The Triad Orbit M2, which is this sucker right there, ball head, and then the IORA, which is the quick couple adapter, which I've got both on there. So there's the quick coupler, and then there's the M2. So I bought both and combined them together. That way I could do, your whole quick release style. Sorry again for that noise. My favorite used to be the Gator Frameworks, and then I started to love this Gravity one a lot, which I still do, but this Triad Orbit is the absolute best. I also love the shirt Pags. What's up, Pags? Favorite people of 2023. You can throw Pags in there on that. Let me tell you something else too. I know he's just going to cringe, but a little prediction. We talked about some of the awesome people in the community. If you're not watching MEI Studio videos and you care about professional videos with multiple sound sources on mics, I'm sure he'll just roll his eyes when I say this, but MEI Studio is literally probably the most informative channel on gear. I know that's a big thing to say. He just hit 1K. He's going to hit 10 and 20 in no time. There is no better informational channel, in my opinion. And that is tough because there are some great channels, but Pags is doing awesome stuff. Stage Right makes a ball head too. I didn't know that. I did not know that. But this is one of my favorite pieces of gear of the year. I've only had this for a few weeks, the Triad Orbit, but it is the M2 and the IORA. This thing is awesome. Like, it is infinitely adjustable, any angle. Pags is the shit. Infinitely adjustable wherever you want your mic to go. The fact that this ball head has 4 sinking points, and by sinking points, I mean, it can drop all the way down, and it has 4 of those divots. This is going to be a noisy video, and I'm sorry. And then just to turn this little, God, this thing is so awesome. Seriously. I wish I should have just taken it off for the camera. But I'll show you on the box. This is what you use to tighten it, and it's just like a rubber wheel. You barely have to turn it at all to get it to work. Um, tried stuff is the best. Yeah, but this is not that expensive. Like this was on Sweetwater for like 30 bucks, I think, and then the other piece was maybe 20 bucks. I don't know. I got on Gear Exchange on Sweetwater. My 2023 marketplace of the year is Gear Exchange. That's really picking up. So if you want to sell some of your used audio gear, the Gear Exchange used marketplace on Sweetwater is the way to go. And if you're going to turn your money right into gear anyways, you can choose to get a gift card for your sales, which means no percentage of your funds is kept for the sale. If you sell something for 25 bucks, of course, shipping is going to be a loss on your end, but you sell something for 25 bucks on there, you get a gift card for 25 bucks. And that's an awesome thing. On Stage has a pretty good budget version. Not as good, but really cheap. I have the On Stage quick release. I don't know about the ball head. On Stage is supposed to be, I've got a gig coming up with On Stage soon. They're supposed to be sending me some product to do, and I don't know what that is yet. It's locked in and confirmed, but I don't know what's coming until after the first of the year. Might be something exciting. I don't know. Might be. Who knows? Okay, so anyways, 2023 piece of gear of the year, quick release mounting system, the Triad Orbit. This is like, I don't think anybody can even come up with anything better than this. That's the piece of gear. I'm going to start out a little weird too on the next piece of gear for 2023. And that's going to be my USB mic of the year for 2023. And you guys know I don't love USB mics, but I do have an appreciation for the simplicity and just how quickly you can get up and going. And I didn't really try a USB mic that is new this year that I was super impressed with. I do have one that maybe will be impressive, but I haven't done the review yet. So I'm not gonna throw it out there because I don't know how I feel about it yet anyways. But earlier this year, I got a microphone for 20 bucks. Actually, I think it was like $18. And the USB port was faulty and it needed fixed. So I bought this microphone. I bought a bag of printer style USB cables, the little inserts for it, and I fixed this microphone. And that microphone, which I have not done a review yet either, out of all the USB condenser microphones I've ever tried, it turned out that an old one was what I really was impressed with. And it is almost said some language. The Rode NT USB. This has been around forever and I had never used one, but when I found it for 18 bucks and needed to replace that port, which I should have done a video, but I didn't. But there's videos out there on it being replaced. As soon as I replaced that and confirmed that it was working, I was quite honestly taken aback by this. I was like, this is the best USB microphone that nobody really talks about because it's older. But the build quality, yeah, we got that older tech in the USB port, but so what? Whoop-de-doo. Like if carry the right cables around with you and you're good to go. Or if you're at work and you want to use it, just snag one off of a printer and then screw someone's day up really well. But it's got the proper knobs, the headphone jack, that works well. These work well. This thing's impressive. And I don't think I have a use for another USB mic. If I just need a USB mic on the go, I'm probably throwing this one in my bag. And this sounds absolutely great in my opinion. For a USB mic, I don't think you can do much better at all. And this is an old one. So that's my favorite USB mic of the year, even though it's an oldie. Yep, Rode does have some good mics. Got to hit that On Stage AS700 USB soon. Oh yeah, Pags did help me get in. I forgot. Damn. Pags got me a On Stage AS700 USB, which is I think similar to that On Stage mic I used a couple weeks ago. And they were super cheap, like 10 bucks a piece. He got me 3 or 4 of them. I'm probably going to do a giveaway with those, and that'll be fun. So that's maybe that'll be on the 2024 list. I don't know. Other favorite gear from 2023. I'll preface this by saying I as I've said in many videos, am all about simplicity, and I don't like mirrorless cameras. I don't like big clunky DSLR cameras. I don't like cameras. Like, I just don't like them. I don't care that much about anything except for it being good enough, which has always been my it's probably a detriment to myself, but that's the way I look at life, period. I only need what I need and nothing more. Sometimes I take liberties and get stuff that's a little fancy, but typically the guilt of owning something expensive gets to me and I end up selling it off. But I really like to keep around cheap gear, budget gear, simple gear, gear that gets the job done that nobody's just going to downright complain about. And the Insta360 Link is by far my favorite creation related device besides audio gear. This is what I'm using right now. And I think that this is plenty good enough. It's not in 4K, but it could be. It could be. It's 1080p, 60 frames per second. I am a big fan of 60 frames per second because I just like the way it looks more than 24 or 30. I just think it's a smoother, more pleasant experience to me. But this definitely is my favorite piece of camera related gear for 2023. I know the Tiny Ozbot 2 has like beat this thing out in a lot of review videos, but I have no reason to even be curious about the Tiny Owlsbot 2 unless maybe Tiny sends it to me on Obscure Tech or something. But this is plenty good enough. I have no plans of changing this camera anytime soon. For me, it's great. Bring back the 110 film camera with the removable flash. That'd be fun to stream on if possible. But yeah, that this has been a really big part of my 2023 because the studio being moved to my new house and doing all this stuff, like I really just wanted to simplify and make things super streamlined and have the same look with the same quality for a long time. And I think this is it. TJ, what's up, man? Sure, sure. A real camera might upgrade the videos a bit, but if it keeps you from making content, 'cause it's you. And it's not that it's too difficult. Like, it's not that the cameras are difficult. It's just like for the limited time that I have, I can throw on my computer, pop up OBS or pop up this and just go. Like, I want something permanently set up with no rechargeable batteries, with no dummy batteries. Like, we've got this camera USB straight to the Mac Mini I use for everything in here. And it's just simple. Like, I don't have to make adjustments and I don't have to worry about lenses and I don't have to worry about a big clunky thing like hanging over my monitor. Like, this is just there and it's small and it's out of the way. And to me, it is perfect for content creation. Like, absolutely 100% perfect. And the only webcam so far that I would pay a couple $100 for. So that's a big, big part of what I've been doing this year is that Insta360 Link. It would not be an obscure Mike's video. Oh, Amy, I still rocking the Vitade cam for what it really? For what? What are you using that Vitade for? Are you using it for an overhead? I went from the Vitade as an overhead camera and I got an Ozbot Meet camera, I think is what this is. That's my overhead camera lately. And I really like that one as well. It's a it's just good. It was like $50 on B&H as a special. And I was like, we'll try that as an overhead. The Vitade was fine. Oh, you're using it for podcast recording. Okay. Yeah, that Vitade's solid. Zoom meetings. Yeah. It would not be a 2023 video without a cat hair infested. This was inside my house for a little bit. It wouldn't be the right Obscure Mike's video without talking about the Avlex AVS 77. That's right up there with the Bear Dynamic M99 as far as like all time keeper mics go. And it's not because I think this sounds better than anything in its class particularly. It's just the rare, the scarcity of it and the form factor and just the fact that anytime I use this, somebody says, "What microphone was that?" Because they're curious because it's cool and obscure. Yeah. Woof, says Dimebag. And all right, more gear 2023. Happy New Year to you too. I'm really happy about New Year's because it's a 3-day weekend. I get bankers holidays, so 3 days off, good to go. I do have a couple career change possibilities here in the future that would enable me to maybe have more time with this. We'll see. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. More favorite gear of 2023. I know that there was not controversy, but not everybody loved this. I still love the Shure MVX2U. They've already improved it with firmware updates. This is just the kind of portable, easy, simple. I mean, what else do you need to throw in your bag to do some on the go gigging? I mean, you got this and you got this, and you're pretty much just good to go. Like that and the USB cable. If that's in your bag, you're going to be fine to do some content on the road or not on the road. I keep this in my bag that stays in my house and goes with me to work in case I need to record in the house. I'll just throw this on, and maybe I get that new mic in the mail and I want to test it and play around with it. The MVX2U is the way to go for that because it's quick, simple, easy, good to go. Let's see what else. Here's something I got just the other day, but this has quickly became a favorite piece of gear for me. I don't love desktop stands because they're just kind of in the way. And I've tried boom stands that are just not strong enough to hold up every mic that I want to use. When you're doing mic reviews and you've, got heavy bastards like this, you need a mic stand that can handle it. And the ProLine desktop boom is that mic stand for me. This is insanely heavy. The base is crazy heavy and everything is just rock solid. The tightening bar here is fantastic. I like the squared off look of the boom tightening mechanism, but I like this a lot. This is kind of like want to set something up real quick and go. This, the MVX2U, those things really helpful in what I like to do. More gear. Let's read some comments first. Got a few of those in the studio for kick drum. Are you talking about the ProLine booms? They're really good. About a new 1080p Nexigo. Nexigo makes pretty solid stuff. The Elgato arm, that's a nice one too. Oh shoot, Gil from Gil Dormius, his channel, he has 3 or 4 of those. He just posted a short today. Those are really nice. Basics key light. I don't know what that is, honestly. More favorite gear. More favorite gear. All right. Combo mic, which again, this didn't get glowing reviews across the board, but the CAD Equitech E90, this is probably, if you want the smooth and slightly darker sound, which this is a little bright, but I feel like this has characteristics of an SM7B in a way. And in XLR mode, it is absolutely fantastic. And it's just like 100 or 120 bucks. Build quality is good. Yoke mount's good. The USB functionality, the noise floor does rise, like Bronson said in his video, but I don't think it's to a point to where it's really an issue. At least mine is not. And the latency free monitoring does indeed work on a computer, but nothing else. So it's got to have the power. But this is a fantastic microphone if you want that smoother sound. I keep saying SM7B. It's not exactly like an SM7B, but it has qualities, and it's only 100 or 120 bucks. This was one of my favorite mics this year. I just think it's a really good dynamic microphone. Boom. Comments. Is that the one Bronson pooped on? Yeah, a little bit. Like he really liked it in XLR mode, and that's one of the things we got to like take into account for videos like Bronson's. Like he found something he didn't like about it, but at the same time, as an XLR mic, as an XLR mic, he thought it was fantastic. And that's kind of where I rest too, because I don't really use USB mics that much. So that microphone to me is well worth the $120 price tag simply as an XLR mic. But to have that functionality as a USB mic to kind of just take wherever, I think that's cool too. I kind of do too, TJ, but if it was just XLR, it'd still be like 99 bucks. So in my opinion, having that USB functionality and that headphone monitoring and that mute switch, and I have no problems with it. I mean, I probably won't ever really use it in USB mode. But just to have the option in a great XLR mic that you could in a pinch use that way, I'd pay the extra 20 for the flawed USB functionality, I guess. More gear. Let's do it. I don't have a whole lot left because 2023 was It was good if you are a Rode fanboy, like, if you're all about the Streamer X and the Rodecaster Pro 2 and, all that stuff, like, yeah, maybe it was a great year. For me, it was kind of, it was good. It was fine, and it was pretty good. Just made a video using Blue Parrot noise canceling Bluetooth headset. Hmm, I've got, I probably should have thrown that in here. I've got the Sensor headset I did on Obscure Mics. It's a headset with a mic. That might be one of my favorite headsets, but then Sensor also sent me this. It is the Pro Wireless Gaming Headset. It's wireless or wired. We'll have to the jury's out on that. We'll see if this is any good on Obscure Tech, which, that's ramping up. I'm very happy with the progress of that channel, at least as far as, companies wanting to work with me go, even though the channel's super duper freaking small. 2023 gear. Let's go. More of it. I was really impressed, not just by the experience, but everything about the OMA condenser microphone just absolutely impressed me. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say it's like the best microphone sound you'll ever get, but I think it is really, really good. The price is a little rough for those budget people like myself, but that's beautiful. Like, that is absolutely beautiful. I think it sounded great too. I'm just trying not to oversell it, I guess, but it definitely sounded great, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And the form factor is just freaking sweet. And the fact that you can change those grill plates and get a little more high end or, a little bit more of a neutral sound, or it's just really cool. Like, these plates do indeed give a different sound than the stock plates that are on it. Not stock, but you can order it with whatever plates you want. But this microphone, this is probably going to be one of those keepers. Ooh, that'd be cool to get the logo on the grill plate. That'd be really cool. But yeah, Sammy Rothman over at OMA, big fan of him already because he's a super cool dude. This microphone was absolutely fantastic. We just did a video on it, but the R4 from Zoom. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces of. You know what? Sorry, dime bag. I think last time I looked, it was $6.99 for the OMA condenser. When I first got my eyes on them, they were $5.99, and I think the prices went up a little bit since there's a new mod that was done to it that is, I guess, the early versions had some RF issues, but that's been solved, and I think because that's been solved, the mic is a little bit more. So, R4 from Zoom, like I was just saying, this thing's just great. I know I just released a video on it yesterday. I could have something I learned in 2023 too, just to get some talking points out there. When I first started this channel, I really thought that the way to do something to get some growth out of this thing would be to be first to market with some new gear. Like, if I saw a new piece of gear coming out, I wanted to get it in here as quick as possible, video it as quick as possible, and I felt like that was going to be the way to grow the channel. I have since learned I don't think that's the case. I don't think it really matters. Like, as long as you're just, for anybody else out there that's doing this or wants to do this, I know Joe makes some videos sometimes. Pags makes videos, but Pags totally focuses on the right thing. I was focusing on some of the wrong things to begin with. I was like, "Ooh, this mic, I got to get it and get it first." And I learned over time, like, it doesn't really matter if you're first to market on some stuff, because I was not first to market on this, and this video is doing really well for my standards on this channel. And I've had this thing for probably a month or two. I bet that I was one of the first people to get this from Sweetwater because they take care of me over there. And as soon as they shipped mine out, the listing went from available for like 10 minutes back to pre-order. So I had this for a while. I didn't get in a rush to do it. I wanted to make sure I knew how to use it and make a little, still bang out a video pretty quickly, but I just wasn't in a big rush. And for anybody who is doing this, Mike Newman over at Level Up, like, I don't know if anyone has that same mentality, like, "Ooh, I got to get it and be first to the market." Yeah, you don't. You really don't. Not my opinion. Let's see. Not much left on the gear of the year for 2023. My gear of the year. I just bumped the desk. Preach. Best performing videos are mics that haven't been made in 30 years. Exactly. You just never know what's going to hit, you know? You never know what's going to hit until you make the video and put it out there. This might be okay. As far as non-budget gear goes, I'm going to give my mic of the year, absolute, like downright mic of the year, period, for me, is the Loudon Audio LS208. This is a game changer, in my opinion. I love this mic. Non-budget gear included, or budget gear included, and non-budget gear, like bottom of everything. This is my mic of the year. This is the best mic. This is my favorite mic of 2023, hands down. I think this thing is amazing. I think the shock mount is amazing. I think that everything that came with it is amazing. The guys at Loudon Audio are amazing. That is a, if they decide to really expand their business and do more than mainly mics, if they were to work on interfaces or, you know, anything they want to do, I think if they put their mind to it, they are potentially one to really keep your eye out for. Loudon Audio, that LS208 is just magic, in my opinion. What the heck? Oh, we got to fix that, don't we? Ooh. All right. Let's see. That was not what I expected. Sorry, folks. You're going to get the old close up. Why'd that go out? That has never happened before. A ghost just turned my lighting off. That's never happened. Anyways, but yeah, the LS208, that is absolutely, yeah, and it just did. That's never happened, but I guess it does now. Anyways, LS208, hands down, mic of the year. Nothing even come close to it, in my opinion. But again, that's not budget gear. That's fairly expensive gear. It's gear I'm going to keep. It's here. Bear Dynamic M99, LS208. Of course, I got to keep a Shure SM7DB around, or SM7B, whatever. But keeper mics, the LS208 and the M99 side by side. Two favorite mics, period. Is that really it? That might be it, except for this. So last thing on the list, I've talked about this before on a video. Have you tried IEMs? I have tried IEMs. Not any really good ones. Like Kimafoon sent me a pair that were pretty solid, but I don't like having shit in my ears. Just downright, period. Don't like having stuff in my ears. For me, as far as like, I'll just go ahead and throw this out there. I guess this is audio gear, but my favorite headphones that are not studio headphones, these are the Soundpeats Run Free. These got sent to me for Obscure Tech, and these are, you know, a pair of like exercise headphones basically, but they are amazing. Like, these are my favorite anytime headphones. They're just Bluetooth. There's no bells or whistles, no noise canceling, nothing like that, but the neck strap sits on the back of the neck. These go over the ears. The speakers are like right there. So these are not in ear. They just set right above your ear hole. They sound amazing, and you can hear everything going on around you. Hence the reason they're a pair of running headphones. I haven't done the review on those yet. I need to do that. Might do that after I get off here. Go ahead and pound that out. That's what she said. Those are, I absolutely freaking love those headphones. They sent me some in-ear wireless earbuds. Those were great too, but those Soundpeats Run Free are easily my headphone of choice when I'm not doing this. Yep. Anyways, next piece of gear. I don't have the cable length to show it to you on camera, so you got the box and that's it. But the Yamaha AG06 Mark II mixer. This has been, oh, you can almost see it on the back of there, but there's a big chunk of it gone. There you go. It's like watching a Showtime or Skinamax flick on a scrambled TV. You're going to see a little areola there, and that's about it. So AG06 Yamaha Mark II. I've I've tried and tried and tried to be, and I don't know why, but to be more of a just a straight audio interface person, but I can't. Mixers to me are just, I just love them. A good mixer to me is amazing. I'm not really doing any multi-person in the studio, multi-track stuff, so I don't need to really adjust and post. And honestly, this may be blasphemous for podcasters to say, or anyone running an audio channel, but I just as soon use a mixer. And if the levels aren't completely matched on each voice on a mixer, run it through the Levelator app and they're going to be. So sue me. Simple, easy, quick, done. I don't even need multi-track. I think it's unless you're doing music, I just don't think it's a thing really. Unless you could get super picky about it and want to adjust voices to all have the same bass level. You know, you could get in and do that and post with multi-track, but a good mixer to me just, it's good enough and I love it. Don't know how you can beat the value of PreSonus IO24 at the price it's selling for these days. I had the IO24, I think. Is that the small one? I don't even have my keyboard out. Was that the small one? Is that like the brick device, the IO24? I can't remember. I think I had that one, and I just could not get used to the navigation. Oh, the IO44 is the smaller one. Okay, the IO24 I might like, but the AG06 headphone amp's great. The headphone amp is transparent, it's clear, it's clean. I feel like it tells me exactly how shit sounds. The preamps are fine, not noisy at all. There's compression and EQ built in. There's mute switches for each channel, and the only thing it lacks is independent phantom power. Other than that, the AG06 Mark II is just damn near perfect for what I do here in the studio. I do have other stuff. Let's see. No, I'm not using OBS, so I can't do that with my camera. But the Stage Right um, preamp that I did a while back, the 1073 style preamp, that would be in my favorite gear if I used it more. I haven't really used it that much, but whatever. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all my gear. That's my 2023 list. I'm looking around the room just to make sure there's nothing else. That's not it. What am I talking on? Yeah. Anyways, okay. Close your ears. There we go. The budget gear and budget mic of the year for me, bar none, hands down, is this Fifine K669D. I'm going to put this back on. I have the Shure SM7B windscreen on it, the big one. And I think that this microphone with this windscreen for 30 freaking bucks, man, this, I already said the LS208 was my mic of the year. I mean that with every fiber in my being. This is the best budget mic of the year. By far, hands down, for me, easily, this is it. I just feel like this has such a great tone for podcasting and voice applications. Not much else. K669D. Not much else. Like I'm not saying that this is going to be your in the studio acoustic guitar mic or anything like that, which Pags at MEI Studio, again, when you watch my videos, I'm going to give you my opinion on it. You're going to hear it on my voice. I'm going to tell you if it's just good or not. Pags is going to go about 10 steps farther, and he mic'd up a singer-songwriter on this thing. I thought it sounded pretty good. I was pretty impressed. He used this and the K669 too many sixes, Satan. K66, I don't worship Satan. But anyways, he used the K669C and the K669. I just can't quit throwing out that 666. He's got me. He's got a hold of me. I need an exorcist. But he used these microphones on a singer-songwriter. Sounded fantastic. But this mic with this windscreen, in my opinion, I could podcast all day long with this. I could do YouTube videos all day long with this. Even if we like the smooth and neutral sound of the SM7B, if I could go on a little soapbox rant here for just a moment, I think when it comes to those, I'm going to pick it up again. When it comes to these mics, I really think that if you're podcasting with a neutral mic, I think that it would be best for your audience to process it. A little compression will go a long ways, but a little EQ on those as well. When I'm driving around in my car, and for me, it's always the car test. If someone's using an SM7B with no processing, I find that what they're talking about can get lost a little bit in the mix of the road. So I really think when it comes to voice applications and you just simply want to be heard, I think it's best to have something with a little bit of that higher top end. And I think that the K669D is about as clear and concise as you're ever going to get with a dynamic microphone under 75 bucks. This thing to me is just like when I listen back in the car to anyone talking on this microphone, I'm locked in. I'm completely focused on what they're saying because the high end is pronounced just enough and it is bright. Like there's no doubt about that. But it cuts through all the road noise. It cuts through everything. It still has low end. It still has nice mids. This thing's absolutely fantastic for 30 freaking bucks. As much as I love that LS208, and I do, I really, really do. Like this is just this for voice, spoken word in particular. It's great. And the off-axis rejection's good. I just I don't know what more you could want if you're a podcaster, unless you just want that status symbol of being like, "Look at me, I'm talking on the SM7B or DB or whatever." This is where it's at. Like, if I'm starting a podcast or if I'm like the podcast father to the stars and Jason Bateman and Jack from Will and Grace, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, and Will Forte? Is it Forte? Or it's one of those guys from SNL. Anyways, they do that show Mindless or Simpleness or fuck, I can't remember anything right now. Those 3 guys come into me and they're like, they don't come into me. They come in to see me. And they're like, "We want to start a podcast. We need something for 3 people." I'd probably just grab whatever 3-channel interface or whatever. I don't know. But I give them 3 of these and I'd be like, I'll listen to your podcast all day long if you're using this because it'll cut through all the road noise and I'll hear you just fine. $56 Canadian, and I'm adding it to my tiny mic locker. That's inexpensive. Yeah, even 56 bucks Canadian, which does translate to about 36, 40 bucks American, is it's still cheap. And it's a really good mic and it's built really well. That's something you can't overlook either. The build quality is just absolutely fantastic. And I tried in my favorite gear of 2023 to also keep build quality in mind because I don't want to suggest anything that could crap out on you quickly or that you could drop and it just be done. This 5 Fine is a tank. The LS208 is a tank. The AG06 is a great, it's got a good build to it too. Everything I talked about here today, great build all the way down to the Triad Orbit. That's got a great build as well. That is solid as a rock and it's not too heavy. NT2A, I have an NT1000 I've got to do. And I think from the one test I did on it on my voice, I was highly impressed. Yeah, the metalwork is worth more than 35 bucks. This is not cheaply made. It is like bezeled and angled and just Fifine is freaking impressive, man. I used to think that Fifine and Mayono were like one of those 2 are going to come up and actually be a player in the game. I think it's Fifine. They need to get their interfaces, worked out a little better. Mayono's sending me an interface too, and it's an actual audio interface, not a sound card thing. At least I think they're sending it to me. They offered it to me, and then they'll hear this video and they'll be like, "You know what? Piss on that guy. He said Fifine was better. Fine, whatever." But yeah, this is the budget mic of the year, bar none. I'm eager to see if anything can knock this off the throne for me. Because again, the build quality, and I think it looks great with this windscreen on it. I think this actually gives you a pretty sweet look, and you still got a nice robust bottom. It's just great. Mayono's dynamic mics were impressive. They were, and I did not hate on them at all. They were a little more microphonic to the touch, but they sounded good. They were a little more V-shaped, and I used to like that V-shaped sound a lot, but it kind of that wore on me as time went on. I don't love the V-shape as much as I like just this little bit of low end, plenty of top end, straightforward, just a good voice mic. Bai Lee made some noise this year. Yeah, and I really considered the Pro AR mics, I really considered them in here, but those, unless you find them on sale, you're still paying 80 to $100. And the fact of the matter in 2023 is you can get bigger name brands with better warranties for 80 to $100. So that kind of knocked Pro AR to the second tier for me. Like those would be in this, those would be in this video for sure if they were $50 all the time. It'd be a shoe in. But the $100 market is super competitive. So those mics just kind of missed out on my gear of the year for 2023. I love having 3 different mixers as provided to me by the Revelator, one for headphones, stream. Yep. Mixers are awesome. Just love them. Love hearing your voice on a mic. It's a lot like mine. It makes sure that's something too. I definitely suggest everyone to go find your voice. Like Dimebag says, me and him, our voices are similar. You definitely want to keep that in mind. Like Curtis Judd's got a really distinct voice. Bronson's got a distinct voice. Bandrew, Pags, Booth Junkie, which I like to think is closer to my vocal range than the other guys. Not saying I'm smooth like the Junkie. I'm just saying like his voice sounds good on just about everything. And I don't hate my voice on a whole lot. I think my voice works with a lot of mics, but yeah, guys are great. If ProR keeps it up, that would be great. They might. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Wonder if Fifine will become the Vizio of the audio world. I think they already are. Yeah, Vizio. Maybe Fine is the on brand right now, the ONN. Mike doesn't make enough vids these days. He must be busy. Yeah, I think his first priority is actually voiceover. And a lot of his vids now are like interview style stuff. I think Booth Junkie's a very respectable guy on the front of, I think he does what he enjoys and he doesn't do what he doesn't. And I respect the hell out of that because that's what I do. That's all I got. That's going to end it. I will also say the mic that Joe gave me this year that I dropped the windscreen to, we could toss the PL10 in there as one of my favorite mics of the year. This is probably going to be my travel mic, and I hate to travel with it because it's older, but I think these are so good, and I've refoamed it. I don't think it's fragile by any means, but this is a great mic. It was on the desk, so I figured, throw it out there. It was my favorite gift of 2023. Favorite gift of 2023 was from Joe at Red Cabin Acoustic. Joe's a fantastic dude. Do what I like, meet you out back. Hell yeah, cash me outside. How about that? All right. That's all I got. I'm going to get back inside to my family, maybe do this Sound Pete's video, but thanks to all you guys for coming to the show, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Again, thanks for watching all my videos in 2023. It's highly, 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 highly appreciated. I feel the traction is still there. We're still, growing the channel a little bit. Things are good. I'm happy. I love the community. I love talking to all you guys. It definitely gives me that sense of community that I have longed for, especially since I live in a weird spot in the world where I don't get along with that many people because they don't like Megadeth. Like, come on, Luke Bryan. No. See you guys next time. Where do I end this at? I'm doing it on YouTube, not using the usual OBS. 48 minutes. It's a long stream. Thank you guys. I'll see you in 2024.